Good morning. Welcome to Morning Love, your daily dose of love, hope, and encouragement from here at Buckwheat Farms Magic Emporium and Ballroom. Hope you're enjoying our videos. I'm enjoying sharing with you. Today, I want to talk about fear. What is fear? It's fearful times we live in. Things are changing. There's an upheaval, and of course, if you follow the metaphysical cycle, you know that that's just the nature of things, that the only surety is that there will be change, that there's a continuing cycle of things. But fear gets in our way. And what is fear? And fear, it's a lower vibrational emotion, but it's associated with an act or an event that can trigger future fears. In fact, we talked about how our bodies, the chemicals within our bodies, can't discern between an actual fear alert as from physical harm as an emotional fear alert, like the fear of failure. And so those same chemical responses are triggered in our body. And often in today's society, because of our outward focus, we have an overwhelming fear of failure more than anything else. And again, fear is not a natural response; it's a learned response. Children, babies, are fearless. And if you ever watch a child my mother was one who was afraid. My mother and father both were deathly afraid of water. And so we were never allowed to really go into the deep end or anything until we were older. But about the age of 8 or 9, some friends of my dad's, softball playing buddies, said we needed to learn to swim, and they tossed us into the deep end. And sure enough, we were okay. We swam. They were there to watch us, and that fear had been transferred from our parents. It was a learned thing. And so is our fear of failure, because we're taught to believe that a mistake is the worst thing in the world, that everything must be impeccable. And that's this grading on the curve and not allowing the work to stand on its own. All these things have caused this not only an overinflation of the ego, but this need to never be wrong. And that's for the fear of failure. And I have my own fear of failure here. It's and the fear of failure is the reason that we don't shine. It's the thing that's holding us back. It's that block to us having everything we desire, to create, to the block to creating. And the reason is because creation comes from love. And love is an action. Love is not an emotion. Love is an action. I told my wife when I asked her to marry me, I said, I am not falling in love with you. That's an emotion that I could fall out of love with you. But I am choosing to love you. So I wake up every morning and I'll choose to love you every morning. And so that's an act of my will. And see, fear had kept me from ever making that act of my will with anyone else. But fortunately, my wife was able to overcome that fear, or to help me overcome that fear, I should say. And so whatever it is in your life, not just a relationship, but there's something. There's a dream within you. There's a dancer within you. And someone told you that no one can make a living dancing. No one can make a living writing. No one can make a living planting crops, raising food to give to other people. So what's the worst thing that happens if you fail? For me, Fear of failure. It's a big undertaking here. I mean, I've got a vision to not only feed my neighbors, but to provide food security for my entire home city here and this county, to provide a means for people to have that kind of food security. So what if I fail? What if I fail? What if I fail? I will have gotten, however far that I have gotten, already the things that are in place, and even more so to come. What if I fail? The only failure, the only true failure is never trying. My friend, you know what it is you've been called to do. It's not self-sacrifice to hold back. It's fear. And there is no fear in love. So let that love for yourself shine through. Vibrate at that higher level. Be like the eaglet taking their first leap off that high, high, high nest. Trust who you are. Namaste.